One was birthed out of this need with kids who go to different churches, but the same high school and middle school to find each other on campus. There's this sense of, I feel like I'm all alone in my faith, and the thing that's most important about me, no one else shares. And so one started a couple years ago with a few of us youth pastors getting together and praying, seeing what can we do to bring our kids together to help mobilize them at their schools. Our whole goal after a one event is for kids to have longevity in their faith as they witness about the things of Jesus in their life. And so what we're seeing after these one events is that kids meet other kids at their school who they had no idea were Christians, and that gives them inspiration to live boldly about the thing they're passionate about in a culture that says, man, you should be ashamed of your faith. There's a hostile environment with Christianity, and when you know you're not the only believer in your Spanish class, it changes the way you walk into that room. You walk into a room with your brothers and sisters feeling a sense of, God, you made me for this. I'm not a victim of the environment, but I am connected in the spirit to people I met at this event who I know are passionate about God, even though I don't see them every Sunday because they go to a different church. One of the things that's hardest for me as I minister to Gen Z specifically, it's just the sense of unworthiness they feel. It blows my mind how many of my students are harder on themselves than God is. And that's why we need each other to uplift us and spur us on towards righteousness, as Hebrews 10 talks about. And so I'm seeing this deep isolation and loneliness that's leading to the anxiety, depression, self-harm. Dude, those are fruits of a root of isolation. And so when we come together as the body of Christ, there's a spiritual empowerment that's transmitted into their hearts, their little hearts, that encourages them to burn brightly for God wherever they're at, which means schools as well. Teenagers in Omaha have a positive view of spiritual leaders. That's weird. And so one of the crazy things I think for that is the pursuit of unity that we've seen with the Within Reach movement. There's fruit that we're seeing in this data where I'm like, dude, when we do one, kids love it because they're like, listen, we're not divided. Everyone's telling us to be divided, take our side, be pigeonholed here and there. But when we do one, there's this spiritual bond of unity that feels like heaven on earth, where our kids say, this feels like something I was made for. And that's what we want to see happen more and more in a culture where the enemy's trying to divide us and make us feel like we hate each other. We actually agree with each other on the things of God. And so it's been cool to see that fruit happen long-term as kids have a positive view of church and leaders as we pursue unity across denominations.